Look, I think the Pittsburgh Steelers just set the tone for 2024, and I think the Steelers' way is getting put back into this team. And one of the reasons I really enjoy covering Pittsburgh Steeler football is this old school mentality, a desire to develop toughness, to demand it. And Coach Tomlin, he embodies that. And you know what? So does new offensive coordinator Art Smith. And I'm going to go to this story on Trib Live, kind of detailing this. This is Sports Talk Steelers. I'm your host, Sean. Hey, guys. I am predominantly a Chicago Bears fan. I have a successful Bears channel, but I've always rolled with the Steelers in the AFC, followed them closely, and I want to give you guys more love. So welcome to this new endeavor, this new family. Please hit the subscribe button. Would love to have you. So thanks, guys. So there's been a ton of false starts in camp, a silly amount, and here's how it was dealt with. Pittsburgh coaches decided for every false start that's committed, the linemen are going to have to run a lap around the practice field. I mean, it's reported the men in the trenches did so more than 6 times during the day. It's like, boys, go take a lap. And Coach Mike Tomlin, he called it a teach tool for his linemen. And he hopes the message was received. From the sounds of it, I think it was. We're just trying to accelerate the learning process and trying to use all the tools at our disposal in an effort to do so. So also this happened on the defensive line. Keanu Benton, Willington Prevalon, they circled the perimeter of Chuck Noll Field later in the 2-hour workout as well. Excuse me. So by nature of the position, right, offensive linemen, they don't really do a lot of running. They're blockers, right? They aren't tasked with covering huge distances, at least on the field. But this team, accountability will be enforced, and it's a very good thing. The Steeler way has been lost a little bit the last couple of years. It's things like this that can bring it back piece by piece. And this Pittsburgh coaching staff, I'm going to close that down. This Pittsburgh coaching staff, it's one of the most experienced in the whole NFL. It makes sense why they prefer to go old school in certain situations. And unfortunately for the Steelers offensive linemen, it was their turn to serve one of head coach Mike Tomlin and offensive coordinator Art Smith's simple yet effective punishments. If you mess up, if you do false starts, you're going to run. And the linemen, they weren't fighting against this. And I'm talking about first-round pick Troy Fautanu. I mean, the hope is for him to bolster the right tackle position, right? After being a natural left tackle. I just did a story on that. But here's to hear it straight from him. It's holding us accountable. For as high school as you think it is, I don't want to run laps. I'm going to try not to do that again. I'm hard on myself, so things like that overshadow some of the things I did today. Hopefully, I'll fix that come next week. And I don't think you're going to find a rookie with a better work ethic than Fautanu. And this quote was not surprising in the least. When we're looking at the Steelers offense, relying heavily on the running game. That means all training possible for the offensive line. It's going to improve their chances of reaching the postseason once again. So I'm just talking about this toughness, this hard-working mentality. It's also seeping into the rest of the team. And I want to highlight this with a practice look into what Van Jefferson is doing. And as you guys know, he's a new coming receiver to this team. Sorry, guys, I'm fighting this here. So he didn't just catch a few balls after practice. He caught 300 footballs after practice. And it's interesting where he got this from. I mean, when he finally did leave the field, he was asked, where did this come from? And speaking to Van Jefferson, he talked to the media that he learned about this practice by none other than Steelers great Antonio Brown. And it's yet another connection to the past. This team is getting back to their roots. And this is to hear from Van. One of the equipment guys said, AB used to catch like 300 every day after practice. I just took that from them. I think he's one of the best to ever play in the NFL. So why not follow what he did? So following this train of thought for Jefferson, he's looking to have his best offensive season since the 21 campaign with LA Rams. That season, if we look back, had a lot of injury concerns, but that year he had 50 receptions, 802 yards, 450, not 50, 6 touchdowns. The 50 receptions, not touchdowns. That would be really remarkable, right? But 6 touchdowns, all career highs in the years since. I mean, production hasn't been quite there. It's kind of lowered steadily, but a lot of that has been injury concerns, and he is coming into this team just absolutely solid and healthy. So a new routine totally makes sense for Jefferson. He caught hundreds of balls after practice, but before that, it wasn't even on his radar to even do so. That conversation with the equipment manager seemed to have made all the difference. You guys, this is a fast growing channel. I love building this family here with you to talk about Pittsburgh Steelers football. Just want to give this team more love. I think you don't have enough coverage. So come on over, put your feet up, join the family. So happy to have you here. And yeah, like and subscribe. We are going to take this into the regular season. So have a good night, you guys, and I will talk to you soon. See